a lot of work went into a lot of little minor details in this camera, and this is one area that, again, voice of customer feedback, a lot of effort went into the UV, the IR cut filter, best tuning, best response. So we mentioned a few times now, we've got 14 plus stops, and that's across the whole ISO range. And we'll show you some pictures in the not very, very soon. And you'll be amazed. Taka, do you want to just talk us through these next couple of slides?
Yes. So anyway, this is the response from the camera. So we shot this gyro chart, 21 stop chart. So as you can see, 15 maybe. If you don't like the noise, you say maybe 13 or 20. But if you like noise, you can say maybe 15. But that's why we are claiming, it's 14 plus or something. It depends on the noise. And this scene, this is scene from the demo reel. This was one of the difficult shots in that reel. So the light is very yellow, and he's very dark, and the color, it looks almost same, the wall and his face, but we try to make the difference. And it's one of the good example of the zero curve. We applied lots of cold value to the dark area. So now you can see the difference between his back and his face.
Okay, so we've got 3 ND filters in there, 2, 4, and 6 stops, and 3 image plane points on the camera as well, with tape hooks. And the image plane is slightly different on the HS and the 35, and there's a second screw hole on the handle, and it's got to go back on the 23. So the tape hook goes back on the HS. Different tape hook position on the HS to the 35. Yeah. So there's your recording times on the 256 gig card. So in our worst case scenario in terms of data, 4K 444 at 24p, we've got 45 minutes there, and 25, 30, 36. So plenty of recording time on a single card. We support level A and B SDI and square division and 2 sample interleave on the SDI out. This is really cool. That's removable. And then we've got a little adapter plate which plugs on there. And this is all hot swappable as well too. That plugs in on the right way. And you've got a 90 centimetre cable. So if we want the control panel on the other side of the camera, it's as simple as that. So really flexible solution. We are looking at talking to third-party manufacturers about extending the length of the cable and also extending the viewfinder length of the cable. The guys in the US, I think, are very close to some good solutions to extend the viewfinder cable just to get the viewfinder up the back of the camera. But if we could get a little longer cable for the control panel, again, it's a lot of flexibility on that. So it's a 3.5-inch LCD. We can run pictures on the LCD as well, and just little clever things like the characters. We can invert the colours so you can run black on white or white on black depending on your ambient light conditions. The layout, again, we've tried to keep it relatively simple, so your sort of 4 main screens are on quite large buttons on that left-hand side there. Frequently used buttons. Tried to keep them to the outside, easy to get to. The frame rate when you're recording turns blue. Nice, simple dial to go through the menus themselves. total of 10 user buttons, including, for the first time for us, a fourth user button on the other side of the camera. So you've got, sorry, on the cameraman side of the camera. So you've got a lot of control in terms of what you can send to those 10 different user buttons. A beautiful viewfinder. It really is nice, and when we get you up to have a look at the 35 a little later on, it really is crystal clear. 0.7-inch OLED. And one of the best things, as Con and Noel will attest to, is the optical zoom. It makes focusing so much easier. Plus menu control from the viewfinder as well. So I've got 3 display modes: 4K, UHD, and a surround view, which is really handy. Just gives you outside active picture area. You can see booms coming into a shot before they actually hit the shot. The optical zoom is up to almost a 10 times zoom. It's very useful for pulling focus. There's 4 focus assist functions. The expand up to 4 times, so that's the 1 to 4 times just there. And focus in red and the monocolor function as well. And focus squares, and we'll show you focus squares when we fire up the camera. This is really good, and this is another bit of user feedback in terms of ease of focus in 4K was a continual theme that came through, and there was sort of, I think, a lot of discussion about how can we improve that, and focus squares is what the Tarkus team came up with. So where the image is in focus, we have the larger squares. Where it's not, smaller squares. And as we pull focus forward onto the picture there, it changes. And you can use this function with the expand too, because in low light, or in almost no light, they're all very small squares, and it's really difficult to define the focus point from the size of the squares. You kick the expand in, and all of a sudden, bang, it's so easy to use. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we've got an HD SDI out, and again, we'll show you that. But that's independent outputs. Yeah. Okay. Emotion time. Before we sort of get into any technicals as to how we do this, which is really boring, it's one of the things which has to be seen to be believed. So. We'll have some fun there. You can get up and stretch your legs, and we'll fire up a candle, Noel, and we'll make some pictures, and you prepare to be wowed.